Yo, what's good? Roy here, and today I'm gonna show you how we made this tutorial for Gucci Mane and Jeezy. So they commissioned us, me and 49Nerd. That's my brother, bro. Yeah, so we collabed on this one. We have many more to come, but this was the first one that we really collabed on. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how I did it. My part, and then I'll show you what he did. So the first thing is the setup was a classroom, of course, and I'll be fast with this. So our sources of light are here. These are our sources of light. So that will be important in future. So the first thing is I added a PNG of a professor, and yeah, made some adjustments to it. So I'll just be quick with it. These are the rim lights. So if you check out my previous videos, you'll know how I added the rim light. I'm being really quick over here because I assume you've watched the other videos, so this will be easier to understand. So yeah, these are the rim lights before, after, and then I added some adjustments layer. So for this first layer, this was to blend the professor into the image. So yeah, this dude into the image. So that's the before and that's the after. So this image was kind of low quality, so I upscaled it, and I wasn't even perfect with it. You can see the gray edges, the gray pixels, but yeah, nobody's looking at that, bro. So yeah. So how did I get this layer? This is so important. So I duplicated the layer, the class layer, the classroom layer, the background, classroom layer. Oh, before that, this was the original. So I removed all of this writing on the blackboard. I removed it with the soft healing brush. Yeah, spot healing and healing. I used these two. So if you check out my previous videos, you'll see how to use them. So that's what I did to remove the details on the blackboard. And hold on. And yeah, this is what we got. So I duplicated this classroom layer, and then I clipped it onto the professor. And then I went to filter, blur, average, and I was done. And then I set the blend mode to either soft light or overlay, but I prefer overlay. So he looks like he's really there. The blending is way more subtle and accurate. So I added a curves adjustment layer to properly define like the highlights, shadows, and the midtone. So I usually add a base curves adjustment to properly define everything, like to define the highlights, the shadows, and the midtones. And then I added a levels adjustment. This was for the shadows, I guess. Yeah, so in my videos I keep on saying this, and I'll keep on saying this. For the shadows, to accentuate the shadows, I'll use 0.47255, a levels layer, not any other layer, a levels layer. And then I added a crude shadow, like I added a solid color layer, filled it to black, and then I accentuated some more. So yeah, I'll be quick with that. Another adjustment layer. For the highlights, it's still a solid color, but I think it's on linear dodge. Yeah, it's on linear dodge. And then yeah, this was a dodge action for the skin, which accentuates still the skin, the highlights. And the burn added some shadows, so the burn action. So I think I'll link a video to these two layers, how these two layers are made, because they are actions. I just ran some actions. So yeah, I've always used them. So, and I was done with that. And then next layer, yeah, text layer. I typed this out, put it into perspective, and then applied blend if. So the catch is on the blend if you want it to look realistic, like it's on the board, it's literally on the board, you need to use blend if, bro. There is no other way to it. So let me slide over here. You see how it looks? Yeah, it doesn't look natural. So I pressed on the keyboard Alt and clicked this, and then I started dragging all the way down. So now it looks very natural. So that's what I did. Same for this. And then I added Jeezy. So yeah, I added Jeezy. It's showing me the rim lights. I don't want the rim lights. So yeah. So this is how it looked. This was the initial layer. Levels adjustment. Applied the blending, the average, whatever, the layer for the blend, before, after. It's way warmer, so yeah, you'll probably tell. Before that, I had some adjustment layers. Yeah, I think this 49 added this. Yeah, I think 49 added this. So these are just adjustment layers. Hue and saturation, because initially the image was so green. So yeah, this is the shadow for the book. So yeah, this is the book itself. So this is a 3D book. I got it from Sketchfab, and what I did is I rotated it to the angle of this tray. So the angle, and then I screenshotted it. Yeah, and upscaled it, because I can't buy that shit, bro. So I just took the screenshot, upscaled it using upscale. Yeah, and cut it out and added it there, and then applied perspective. So yeah, these are just adjustment layers. So you see, initially the whole image is so vibrant, the layer. So I did some vibrance and adjusted the vibrance to -41. Yeah. And with Jeezy, I think I was done. Let me enable the rim lights. So here are the rim lights. I'll be quick with this. I don't want to waste time. Because I assume you've been watching the other videos. Plus, somebody told me, bruh, young nigga, they told me, young nigga, you need to make your videos shorter. So I know my videos have been longer. So yeah, I'm trying to make them short as possible. And then I added a globe. Yeah, adjusted it using perspective so that it can look like it's actually on the desk. Added a rim light to it. Nothing too complicated. It's the same workflow. So rim light, and then yeah, 49 added this. Yeah, 49 added this solid black layer to accentuate the shadow, because we assume light is coming from here, so this side must be darker, that side must be darker. So yeah, 49 added this, and then yeah, still blended. Yeah, so this is the layer with the average blur. So yeah, you can tell. And I was done with that. And then paper jet. Yeah, so we added a paper jet PNG and applied motion blur to it. So this was the initial. This is it with motion blur. So, and we was done with that. And then we added Wheezy. So here he is. Yeah, I did not like him holding the stack. It's supposed to be a classroom. So in my mind, I was like, he needs to hold a book or something. So I got a book from Sketchfab. I rotated it to the angle of his arm. Yeah, and I applied perspective and made sure he blended. So these are just adjustment layers. So I'll just show you the book. So this is the book from Sketchfab. So yeah, curves. Yeah, so all of these are adjustment layers, bro. Yeah, so this side I applied this adjustment layer because I assume light is coming from this source. So this side is supposed to be way brighter than this other side. So These are just adjustment layers showing it. Burn, yeah, you see it's darker. Dodge, kind of lighter. Yeah, and I was done with that, bro. Yeah, they said it's supposed to be brighter because the light is coming from this. Yeah, you'll just see it, bro. You'll just see it. Added dream lights. Yeah, and if you add rim lights, you don't add them everywhere. You add them where the light is coming from. So my rim lights, of course, are white because of the light source is white, but it can be any other color. So yeah. Then I added, I think I added another. Yeah, with Wheezy, I was done with that. This other rim light, you'll see it coming to stone, like it's some other part. I'll just explain it later. So yeah, on to the next layer. What was the next layer? Baking soda. Yeah, baking soda. So I added a baking soda, applied perspective to it, shadow for it. Yeah, if you peep closely, you'll see the shadow. It's the small details that matter for me. So yeah. So this is the reflection, kind of orange. It's subtle, but it's there. And then shadow, the shadow for it. And then I was done with that. Blending the same workflow, adding average blur to it, before, after. So yeah, this other layer, 49 added this other layer. So I don't know what the fuck this means, bruh, but I just know he was cooking. I just know. Yeah, money stacks. So yeah, money stacks. And then I think he used a soft white brush on this and set the blending mode to overlay, because you can see it's like giving a soft glow around this region. So yeah, most likely that's what he did. And then for the Wheezy, for this hand specifically, it needs to look realistic, like the book is, his hand is actually in contact with the book. So added some shadow. Yeah, there it is, and we were done with that. So I'll try as much as possible to be fast with this. So, and then 49 added cocaine pack. Yeah, so I'm just showing you what he added. I added a book over here. I added another book, but it's really irrelevant. So it was supposed to be on the desk, but yeah, didn't make the cut. So it's not even visible like that. So because 49 added some other shit over here, so which made it actually look way better. So other paper planes. So these are paper planes, and then he added another globe to it, and then blue hands. Now he didn't know what this. Then he added money. Yeah, there it is. If you see a green layer, just know it's his work. So he likes adding this glow. So I presume he still uses a soft brush set to foreground color as white, and then he brushes softly on the surface for that glow and set the blending mode to hard light. So yeah, this is all his work. He's really saving me. So yeah, because this was the initial layer I had and it was looking ass. I wasn't comfortable with it. So yeah. And then what other layer? So this is the, wait, what? Hold on. Oh yeah, never mind about that. So this is another paper jet. He added a watch, then he added a table over there. So the layers in green are his works. So, and the workflow is pretty much the same for him too. Then he added a Bunsen burner. So yeah, and then whatever he did is, here he used a for the glow, to make sure this is glowing, because we are assuming light is coming from this source, so it must illuminate these two. Yeah, so it's illuminating Jeezy's skin, Wheezy's skin, the prof's skin and body, like, and then also this. So we are assuming this is like, you are looking at this in a real angle, so of course this will look kind of bright. So I think he sampled the blue color using an eyedropper, and then went to the brush, brushed over it, and set the blending mode to linear dodge, and he was done with that. So these are just his adjustments. Yeah, and this other side, he is really also precise with his work. So for the shadow, for the Bunsen burner, because we assume in this other region, this small region, light is not hitting this spot, but it's hitting this side. So yeah, you can see the adjustment layer, the curves. Yeah, this is what I used to do. So I drag the curves at the bottom. This was what I used to do, like in my first Gucci Mane cover arts, to accentuate shadows, to actually show shadows are there. So same method, bro. And for the highlights, this is what he did. So for the brighter part, it's there, but it's subtle unless you zoom in. So yeah, he really cooked. Yeah, because I hadn't even thought about a Bunsen burner. Like, bro is crazy with this. So, and then another paper jet, and I think cocaine. Yeah, nah, did not add this. And then now for the lights. So for the lights, I just used a soft brush and brushed over this and set the blending mode to lighten. And then for this other lens flare, this is a lens flare. So yeah, you can see how it looks now. So I added Gaussian blur to it, and initially it was yellow. So let me switch this layer off. So you see how it looks yellow. So I wanted it to look white, so added hue and saturation to it. And then yeah, and I was done. So yeah, and he was done too. So yeah, so this is the base composition. Now to the oh my god, this is pre-processing. Now to the post-processing, where we apply like adjustment, like filters and shit. So camera raw, yeah. So firstly we'll go to camera raw. Let it load up. Take him kind of long to load up. Oh yeah, and it's done. So let me see. So these are the effects. We added more texture. These are the settings we used. And then color mixer, blues set to -8. Yeah, and that was it. So if you peep closely, this image has a very, very, very subtle form of chromatic aberration. Yeah, it's there. If you check out the pixels, you'll see the RGB effect that you usually see on chromatic aberration: the blue, the green, and the red. So yeah, that's some little sauce. So how did we add that? Yeah, we went to Photolux Magic Bullets. So This is this is a very, very good plugin. My go-to plugin. Yeah, plus you also, yeah, the whole image has a diffusion effect. So I'll just zoom in. And show you the layers. I'll just switch on and off the effect. So we use the curves. So this is without it, this is with it, and then the diffusion. So it doesn't have that dreamy effect. So when I switch on the diffusion, that's how it looks. Chromatic aberration, it's there but it's subtle. So this is with it off. Let me zoom in some more. This is with it on, so you can see the colors, the effect off, on. And then colorista 3-way for the color grading. Yeah, so this is without it, because I needed it to be warmer. I needed the whole image to be warmer overall. So yeah, for the highlights, orange, midtones, green, shadow green. So went with the color theory. Technically, I know with color theory, orange goes with blue, but also orange can go with green. So yeah, and we were done with that. So now for the title. The font that I used was Beba's New. So I went and looked for a PNG image of mathematical equations, and then I clipped it. So this is without it, and this is with it. So I'll just show you the settings for the effects. So I'll switch them off first so you can see how it looks. And this is with them. So I'll just show you the effects. I'll just show you what I did. So for the stroke, these are the settings. That's the first stroke. Second stroke, inner glow. I don't know if I switch them, if you can see the effect, they're barely visible. Gradient overlay. So yeah, this was really important. It gave it more vibrance. So this is without it. Looks so plain and simple, but this is with it. So don't ask me why I chose these colors. I just chose them because I felt like blue and orange, like they just kind of fit the overall color, because I know from this image the overall color that I'll get is this brownish color. If I were to blur this whole image, it's this brownish color, brownish orange. So with color theory, the opposite of the brownish orange is something blue. So that's what I did over here. And then I applied outer glow, which was supposed to be, yeah, that with that gradient, same color. Yeah, and I was done with that. Now for the artist's name, it's pretty simple. You create a layer, any shape layer, like rectangle. Yeah, that, and then leave alone those, and then this other two. So you can use the layer, whatever, the shape tool or something, yeah. Or you can use the polygonal lasso. I prefer polygonal lasso because these two won't be of the same size. I need them to be kind of imperfect. So yeah. And then I added the artist names, Wheezy and Jeezy. Yeah, the font. So the font people usually use for this is Impact, the Impact font, a font called Impact. But here we are doing it our own way. We are trying to go crazy with these mixtape covers. We do not want to do the ordinary stuff. So yeah, so I used my custom font. So I'm gatekeeping it. No free sauce, but I'll release it in future. So yeah, I'm just playing, bro. So then I did the other stuff like other boys, and then parental advisory, yeah, hype logo, and then noise, of course. Noise, you must have noise. This is essential. So how do you add noise? Create a new layer by pressing this, and then after that you press shift backspace. You go over here and select gray, then it will fill your whole layer with gray. Filter, blur, filter, you can go to camera raw filter. I prefer camera raw filter for noise. And then you go to, I think it's effects, yeah, green, and then effects, and then you go to green. I usually put mine at 82. And then now you can go to blending mode, soft light or overlay. So yeah, that's what I did. So it was overlay, opacity set at 48. And yeah, we were done with that. So yeah, pretty much done. So next tutorial, we have been making these cover arts. So here, next tutorial will be for Gucci Mane. We've made some very sick cover for Gucci Mane. Let me show you this. But we switched up the song title. So let me show you. We switched up the song title. This is what I was going with, but it was looking ass. 2 packs of ass. So we switched it up. Nad played with it, 49 played with it. So yeah, so we'll be doing the tutorial for this next. So yeah, tricky name to pimping. So I'll catch you boys next time. I'm happy, I'm grateful for the 100 subscribers. I'm at 99, but I'm grateful for the guy who'll get us to 100. I'm just sharing these videos, what I know. Yeah, I'm just sharing what I know, as I try to, because it's all about, like, at this point, I feel like you just need this shit in your heart. Like, you just need passion to do this shit. Like, yeah, you can't just be, I don't know, man. I'm just happy I'm sharing these videos with people. And to the people who hit me up and tell me, yo, your videos are fire, bro, I'm grateful. You don't know how much I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm also saving up for a PC. So soon I'll have something. But as for now, I'm having this shit, bro. This is the shit I use, bro. So yeah, so soon I'll have a PC, bro. Yeah, and more tutorials. I wanna do abstract art tutorials too, because I've been making a lot of abstract art. So I'll catch you next time. Take care. God bless you. And peace.